You're listening to the After Dark Detour podcast with Donnie and Jaren.
Hey everybody, welcome to the After Dark Detour. My name is Donnie, and with me is my co-host Jaren.
Howdy.
Dude, perfect rehearsed
Let's
execution there. We are this is what do you want to call this, Jaren? I guess just food for our thoughts, kind of just spitballing random things that we got going on in our lives.
Just random shit. Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty much. Yep, that's going to describe this. That's why it's called Detour, because we're going to take a bunch of freaking curves and exits off the highway all over the place to reach whatever destination we end up being at. I think we're gonna like kind of just talk about ourselves for like 5 seconds, just kind of tell you guys who we are, and I guess I already explained the objective of the podcast, but my name is Donnie. I was born and raised in Ohio, which I get teased a lot about, but fair game, because Ohio sucks. Spent most of my high school playing golf. Took it pretty serious my junior year and kind of made that my goal of playing competitively. Didn't work out in the end, but moved down to Florida when I was about 22, I think. Been here ever since. Worked in golf probably most of my working life, probably about 10 to 12 years probably, and then I found sports and trading cards, and now I work in that business while I also collect and sell on the side. And yeah, and that's kind of my background. Jaren, I know yours is gonna be a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot shorter. So my name's Jaren. I was born and raised in Florida. Been in Florida my whole life, and I grew up playing baseball. I played a lot of baseball growing up. I eventually quit and then took up skateboarding. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, I just started playing a lot of video games. And similar to Donnie, I also got into sports cards. That's how we met.
We actually worked together, so kind of that's how we met. I think you started like what, a little after a year. You've been at work for about a year and a half or a year.
Yeah, it's about a year and 8 months now. I think it was January of 2024.
Shit, man, how the time flies. Jaren became I never really spoke to Jaren when he started working at our job. It takes me a while to, like, if I'm working somewhere and we get like a new person, like it takes me literally like a month or two to like start actually having consecutive conversations with that person. Like I think me and Jaren both consider each other our work besties at this point. I assume that's kind of accurate. Ironically, I had another work bestie before Jaren who is no longer with us, but he was sitting in the same spot Jaren is sitting at our work now. It's kind of ironic how that works. But
I just kind of took it over. It's the best desk there.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't know. I don't like that doesn't raise. But yeah, I don't even remember our first conversation, Jared, to be honest with you. I had to be like a couple of months after you started. Like, I'm assuming you probably had a question and I answered it. I don't know.
No, I can't remember exactly how the first conversation started, but it was hell, it might have been my first or second day. I was trying to be a little bit more comfortable with everybody because the desk to the left of yours, that's where I started sitting.
Yeah.
And I remember somehow we got on the topic of my dad's work. I remember that. I don't know if you remember that. I was talking about my dad's work. There's a topic of pest control. Maybe you were talking about having some sort of cockroach or something in your apartment, and I brought up my dad.
That's probably pretty accurate because, well, granted, I've been living at the apartment I'm at now for about a year and a half, which is like the longest I've lived at like apartments of people like I didn't really know. Before this, I lived with my buddy for like 5 years in his house, but that's another story. But I haven't really seen a lot of pests in this apartment. I've seen like 2 cockroaches, which is actually probably really good for a year and a half in Florida. But yeah, it was probably one of those times that I seen a roach and like brought it up, and then that was probably a conversation. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you are a lot more, you actually like talking to people. I don't, for the most part.
Well,
Uh
I used to not like talking to people. I used to hate talking to people. It was in my last job where I was kind of forced to talk to people, dealing with a lot of customers. And then after that, I started enjoying it, you know.
what enjoyment do you get out of it? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I like picking people's brains, I think. I like just talking to people. Because I mean, you learn a lot about people. You learn that everybody's a little bit different. I feel like on the surface, everybody in a way seems the same, but when you talk to somebody, everybody is very different in their own way.
Fair. Yeah,
And
that's true.
I started enjoying that.
Yeah, I have never, like, I've had retail jobs where I've had to talk to people, but unfortunately, that experience made me not want to talk to people because of how annoying some people can be. Not saying like they're bad people, but like, just if I'm just gonna take golf for instance. Like when I worked at the PJ store, I wasn't working retail. I worked in the back, but I was on the floor quite a bit, and like people would come up to me and ask me a question. I would answer it. Um, and there were just some people that, like, you ever get to a point where like something that's easy for you to explain or something that you know that you can just talk about, it just doesn't get through to somebody, and you can't figure out how to maneuver your verbiage for them to understand.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
think it's
mean?
because everybody really like understands stuff in their own way. So like if I'm talking about sports cards to somebody who also likes sports cards, they might just understand it in a different way because there's so many like subcategories that have to do with that hobby.
Right.
So um
Well, these people I talk to, I could just never get the correct verbiage to like have a decent conversation or like explain something. So yeah, like talking with people and like being sociable is a big weakness for me, but I've been trying to, one thing I want to do more is start going to like a card show like at least once a month. Like that's like kind of my new goal when I get back from this trip that I'm going on. um Not that I kind of want to break out my shell. Like I don't want to like go there just to interact, but I do want to go there and just kind of like get a little bit more comfortable interacting with either, dealers or just whatever. I don't really know, but like that's my gonna be my goal to kind of get out of my antisocial shell.
well, it's also a great way to make connections too. I mean, that
True,
was
that is
another thing
true.
that I liked. I like talking to people because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know. I mean, the way that I viewed it, and some people might say it's kind of a scummy way of viewing it, but I always viewed it as this person might have an opportunity for me. That was why I started talking to a lot of people, especially working at Lowe's prior. You're dealing with a lot of old people. Some of those
Right.
people might have an opportunity for you, because you never know who you're going to meet. Kind of like Rick Harrison says, you never know what's going to come through that door.
Yeah. Uh right, that guy.
Y- yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, good old Rick, man.
Montage.
Definitely know that guy. But yeah, I
Oh,
just like, there's definitely in that sense that makes sense. I use sense way too many times in like a 3 second interval, but I kind of relied on my buddy who I used to live with for that, because he was a financial advisor for a bank, and his clientele was, they had money. um so like he would meet a lot of interesting people, and like this one particular time, I don't know if he met him through, I don't think he was a client of his, but I think they met somehow. And this guy had, I think he had bought a, well, let me do more backstory. So the NFL Hall of Fame has like an alumni thing where they come down to Florida every year, I think, and they did like some kind of golf outing. I don't remember why they were doing it. I think it might just be something they do once a year. But this one guy had bought. You can buy in as like a group, and you'd have like 4 players, and each group got to golf with a NFL Hall of Famer. And my buddy knew this guy who was paying for a group, but he only had 2 people. He had my buddy and somebody else, and they needed a 4th. And my friend was like, "Hey, this is happening on this day or whatever. Can you get it off? Like, would you be able to play?" So we ended up playing in that, and I got to meet and play with Charlie Joyner, who was a wide receiver for the Chargers. I don't remember what years he played, but or his stats for that matter. He was kind of before my time, but it was really cool to be able to like, you know, just interact with somebody of that caliber, because you don't really see that much, or have that opportunity rather, and that was really cool. And yeah, so like my buddy was definitely on the more of connections and stuff. He's a talker, so makes sense. But I can never have gotten to that level of comfortability with just talking to new people. I think for me, I don't want to call it trauma. I hate the word trauma, but I understand it's like a legit thing. I think my antisocialness has to go back to school. You know, and we make fun of it now, but you know, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness, and I like, if that's your thing, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. I personally could not recommend it to anybody. It was such like, and that's the only way I knew childhood, was only talking to certain people. I couldn't go to school and feel comfortable talking to people outside our religion. Plus, I always got picked on. I got picked on hard, probably up to like high school, where I kind of started. I got out of religion and kind of like found my own place. But anytime I try to talk to anybody or like whatever, I kind of got chewed upon. So it's very hard for me to like now transition into like I'm my own person. The past doesn't really reflect me now, or it's not who I am now, but it's very hard to go out and meet new people and be not saying I have to feel comfortable, but like just to keep a conversation going. Like, I feel like I'm going to be judged instantly, and it's just like a judgment feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel that way sometimes when I talk to people too. I think that's a feeling that kind of doesn't go away. I think it's more so just kind of how you deal with it. Because
True.
eventually, like, I'll be mid conversation with somebody, and I'm like, what the hell am I talking about? Why am I telling them this? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it is what it is. You're talking, you're just making conversation, and you know, if it's a random person, chances are they probably aren't going to remember that 15 minutes later.
True.
Uh, so that's the way I kind of see it sometimes. I just do it a lot, even like at work. If I'm at a store, you know, somewhere to talk to pass time. You know me, I just talk a lot.
Yeah, you
And
definitely do that.
it's just a way to pass time. It really. Once you get used to it. I mean, I guess it's kind of a skill, really.
Yeah, that's a skill I have not mastered and probably will never master, but I want to get a little bit better, at least at, if anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But in other news, I got a rant that I want to do really quick, Jaren. It's about eBay. It's about some of these sellers on eBay selling cards. Can people stop listing auctions at what a card is selling for, at like for your first bid? I am sick of seeing cards that are like things that I want, that you see like auctions on like Card Ladder or like past sales of like, this card was in a range from like, I don't know, $40 to $100. And then you see these freaking listings that they're auctions of the same card, no different, and they start the bidding at $100. Why are you starting the bid at where like the highest comp possible? I know you want your money, I get it, but it doesn't make sense. No one's gonna fucking bid on it. It's the
This goes for
stupidest thing.
whatnot too. This goes for whatnot too. I see this all the time. I've spent the past 2 days on whatnot.
Looking for
And
some Hank Aaron's, huh?
yeah, dude, I'm just looking for Hank Aaron. That's all I want.
If anyone's
And
listening to this and you got a Hank Aaron rookie card or an old vintage card for Jaren, let us know.
yes, please, and don't sell it to me for comps.
He's
I
buying
know.
at 40 to 50%.
But yeah, I mean that stuff's so annoying because um, with something like eBay, if it's a slightly desirable card, I mean you're gonna get a lot of people coming by and looking at it. So you can
Right.
start it a little bit lower because it's almost a turnoff when anybody goes by that listing and they see, oh, there's 5 days left on this auction, but the starting bid is already at comps. If anybody is anything like me, or I'm assuming you as well, they're just gonna scroll right past that.
That's exactly what I
Whereas
do.
if there's 4 days left and it's, you know, currently at like 50% of comp price, it still is it's a little bit more desirable to anybody that's going by.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Um
even if you have a chance to snag it at 80%, like someone's gonna want to take that opportunity. They're not gonna want to pay 100 right out the gate. Like, I don't know. I don't know if like these sellers that do this, if they're just if they don't like, I don't know, like research or take the time to figure out like how to run a proper auction, and they just think, oh, if I list this at comp, well, someone's gonna pay it. Like, I don't know what they're thinking.
well, plus there's also like, I mean, people are going to have to learn to take a loss on some cards. Like if you bought the card at comps and you're immediately trying to flip it and that card has not changed in value, first of all, that's your fault.
Right.
Second of all, put a reserve on the auction. Don't start it at comps.
I
At the
was I
very
was
least,
I was
put a
literally
reserve on
just
it.
about to ask you that. Would you rather have that or have an auction start at 99 and have a reserve on it?
All right, I'll say like when there is a reserve on it, it's still a little bit of a turnoff, but not as much as if the starting bid is at comps. I'll
Do
say that.
you
Like I'm more inclined to put a bid on a card that is currently below comps that has a reserve on it, just to see where it goes.
does eBay, I don't know if you know this, does eBay on like those reserve bids, do they say what the reserve amount is? I don't know if it tells you that. Or you just have
No,
to
I
guess.
I don't know. I don't know if it does. No, because it just says reserve not met. I don't
Okay.
think there's a way to actually know. I think I actually looked that up the other day because I saw there was a card like this exact thing that we're talking about, and I wanted to see what the reserve was, and I don't think there's a way to see exactly what it is.
That's stupid.
I agree.
I think they should have a at least to let you know, like give us a percentage. How far are we away from meeting reserve price?
It's a mystery. You just got to keep bidding it up.
Yeah, I guess it's like a box of chocolates, right?
Yeah, right.
I know. See a movie reference. I know that one. Um. So yeah, that's been an issue in the card world for me lately. On another note, I finished Assassin's Creed Mirage today.
Really?
Yeah, I have
Like,
so many fucking questions. I'm so confused.
oh, did it leave you on a cliffhanger?
Kinda. Well, I did like YouTube research right after I got done because I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, and it makes sense. The issue is that to understand it fully, there's a cutscene in Valhalla that you have to unlock that kind of shows that makes you understand it a little bit more. I didn't unlock that cutscene, so I had to go YouTube. Luckily, they have a bunch of creators who do the oh, this game explained or this cutscene explained. I had to watch about 5 of those to be honest with you. But yeah, very confusing game, but all in the grand spectrum of things, pretty good. Good story
I
to
feel
it.
like a lot of Assassin's Creeds are kind of, I mean, they're not confusing, not all of them at least, but I mean, they're very heavy story based. You really got to pay
Yeah,
attention.
yeah, for sure. Like they do a good job of the Ezio trilogy, which is Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation. That whole like trilogy, uh like that all makes sense. Like you play those 3 games through, like it all ties in together. Um Now when you introduce like these time gaps they have, like you go from Egyptian to Greece to Viking and now you're going to Japan, like when they introduce all these time gaps, it's very hard to keep up because of how unsynced the time periods are. Like they don't go in order, which is
Yeah, they kind of go back and forth,
yeah, and it
kind of like a
just
Star Wars situation.
kind of, but Star Wars isn't really that confusing. And I'm not talking sequels don't matter. Sequels are stupid. Like when you watch 4 through 6 and you understand what's happening, like 4 through 6 isn't confusing. It's like going back to 1 through 3, you already know what the premise is going to be. You already kind of know that. And I think they talk about, like, when 1 came out, I think people understood what the movie was going to be about. And then, like, through whatever media source, they pretty much explained what 2 and 3 were going to be. Like, that's not really confusing. I would say the most confusing thing about the Star Wars, I'm going to go on a tangent. The most confusing thing about Star Wars was between episodes 2 and 3. Other than that, I wouldn't really call Star Wars confusing.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's as confusing as Assassin's Creed, but
No, Assassin's Creed story writers are all over the place.
yeah, but I guess that's why they're a successful game too. They're not producing the same game every year. It's something completely different. Follows the same sort of premise, I suppose, of like, hey, do parkour and kill these people.
Yeah, no, that's all Assassin's Creed's really about. Like the whole lore doesn't matter. It's just all about parkouring and stabbing.
just like I guess at the core. But storylines are
Exactly.
completely different from one
Everything
another.
else is just side missions. It's just fucking dude, get on that rooftop. But yeah, that's been my day so far. I'm going on a trip here tomorrow. Actually, in about, let's see, 3, 5, in about 9 hours, I'll be getting on a flight to go to Minnesota for a few days. So get this, Jaren. You already know I'm leaving because I had to put in PTO for work. But this is how stupid this whole trip's gonna be, or this is the whole like situation that me and my buddy Trizzy, I'm sure he might not, probably he doesn't listen to this, he's not gonna care. Like we are big NFL enthusiasts, and we want to have a bucket list of going to every NFL stadium. We are currently probably like, I would say we're probably a third of the way there actually. So this year we decided to go to Minnesota. We planned this in May. We wait for the NFL schedule to come out, and then we kind of pick like, okay, what game works with whatever. We try to line it up where a college game is going to be the same weekend as the NFL game. So we double dip. We go two games. So we made this in May, and we picked the weekend that Cincinnati comes to town. And we were thinking like, oh, we're going to get to see JJ and his first year as a starter. We're going to see Joe Burrow. We're going to see like 2 elite offenses. It's going to be a great time. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a great time. So
no, probably not for my fantasy either. Not if Jaden Daniels is going to be out. JJ's my backup, so.
Well, wait, hold on. Jaden Daniels, what?
Yeah, well, I'm saying for my fantasy.
I was gonna say he's not either on the Bengals or the freaking Vikings,
so
this is irrelevant. I was confused. So, JJ McCarthy's out for 4 weeks, I think. Joe Burrow is out for 3 months. Vikings have 2 starting offensive linemen hurt, and essentially, we're gonna get to see Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, the only 2 superstars are going to be on the field. That's going to be it. And I feel like that this game is kind of shot for why we are going. But it's kind of like you plan this in, 3 or 4 months out, and you can't really turn back on it now. You already got everything paid. And it's just like, man, like out of all the teams to deal with injuries and do all this shit, it has to be the two teams that we're gonna go see. Just like, what are the chances?
I'm sure somehow, some way, it'll still be a good trip.
I know,
I
I
guess
know. I'm just
I guess you
talking
can only
about
hope.
no, the trip sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Plus, I get to see Trizzy. Now, Trizzy is he's essentially my brother. I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't know him. So he's like childhood friend, might as well be my brother. Um, and he's still in Ohio, so we don't get to see each other that much. We get to literally see each other when we plan a football trip. So no matter what happens this weekend, I'm sure we're gonna make the best out of it. But it just sucks, like just getting your having anticipation for 4 months, and then literally the weekend before you leave to go to the game, all this happens. It wasn't even like week one kind of shit. It's just, yeah, it sucks. But I think we're gonna make up for it. The University of Wisconsin Stadium is about 4 hours away from the hotel that we're staying at. I think we're gonna go to a Wisconsin game the day before the Vikings game. So we're gonna get two games in, which is good. We weren't gonna originally, but we are now. Also, we're gonna do some escape rooms apparently, so that should be fun.
Oh shit.
I've not done it. Have you ever done an escape room?
I did. Okay, so I did a zombie escape room.
Oh hell yeah! Was it
Um,
COD?
no, dude, it was
Oh,
terrifying. Okay, I have this like weird fear of zombies, I think.
oh, dude, you're
And
screwed when the plague happens or whenever that's gonna happen.
see, that's a day I don't even want to think of. So me and my family and I, we took a trip to South Carolina. I
Okay,
believe it was in yeah, it was in Myrtle Beach, and we went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Wax Museum. That was pretty cool.
we have
And
one.
then
There's one down in Florida, right? Or is that just something
I
else?
don't there's a Ripley's, but I don't think it's a wax museum. I think it's Wonderworks. I think it's just like a bunch of random stuff, like a bunch of cool, like odd things. I guess I
Oh,
don't really know
okay,
how to describe it.
gotcha.
Um, But like yeah, those Ripley's are like all over the place, and they have aquariums, all that type of stuff. But they had a wax museum up in Myrtle Beach, and right next door was this like I don't know, I don't know what it was called, but it was some like zombie escape room. It wasn't really an escape room though. I mean, it kind of was. It was more like a walkthrough experience, but
It was like a
I
simulation, like a slowed down
yeah, I
simulation.
guess so. Yeah, it was more like a simulation, but I'm gonna be honest. 'Cause dude, I went out the emergency exit, so I, I didn't get to experience the whole thing. All I remember is we walked in and they shut these doors behind us. Like those like it's like some shit out of Resident Evil, like those lab doors that like
Yeah,
slide and shut behind you.
yeah.
It was like that, and as soon as I heard those doors shut, my heart sank. I look forward and there's this dude dressed up as a zombie, dude, and I started crying. I was like 10 or
Okay, I was
11,
about the
okay?
next question was how old were you? 'Cause
No, okay, yeah,
I'm
dude, I
imagining
was
this was like
younger,
a
but
month ago.
no, no, so we went down the hallway a little bit, and on the right, it was the very first emergency exit door. I ran out that motherfucker, dude.
Did the
I was
alarm start
done.
going off?
No, well, actually, I don't know. I didn't really care. I don't think they did. I think they weren't like emergency exits at like a business. It was like if you want to leave now, go through this door type
Oh,
of
okay.
deal.
I guess it's a little
Because
different.
yeah, you couldn't turn around. Like those doors turn and they locked on you. Like
If you had to
it
go
was it was
back,
it was scary.
if you had to go back and redo that, like now, do you think you'd be able to hang in there?
I I think I could do it now. I think honestly, I always make this joke that I have a fear of zombies because my parents always like made fun of me for it. I don't think it was that really. I think it was more so I have really bad claustrophobia,
Oh, you have
and
mentioned this before.
yeah, and the hallways were like really small, and it was just the thought of knowing that you're locked in. Because I didn't at that point, I didn't know there was like an emergency exit. I thought I was in it to win it, dude. Um, but as soon as I saw that, I got out of there, dude. I was done. But the wax museum was really cool. You ever been to a wax museum?
I have not. I've seen video of them and like people do like tours and stuff. I haven't actually physically been to one.
Depending on how you look at it, they're kind of creepy, but I mean, they're really cool. Like the art that they do is insane. Um, there was a place, I swear it was on over on iDrive.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's one down here. I just don't know what it details.
Oh, you know what? It's over there by, you know where the Orlando Eye is? There is a
Yeah.
wax museum there, but it's not a Ripley's one.
Okay. I think
Um,
I used to work over in that area, like on Turkey Lake, and I think I've heard of that. I think people have like shown me pictures of it, but I have not been to one.
yeah, they're really creepy. For the most part, they are cool, but I don't know. You just like turn a corner and you see someone standing there. I was doing this one thing. I
You,
wish I could remember what it was,
you think
but
you think you'd be less scared of the zombies if you could have built a wonder weapon?
Absolutely. If you just equip me with just even a ray gun is all I really need.
Yeah, ray gun's pretty
I think
OP.
they should do that there. They should like
They
they
should.
should have like a gift shop. They should do a collab with Call of Duty and
Like,
have like some ray guns and the
get a personalized ray gun in the gift shop. Ten
oh man.
character limit.
Man, over there on iDrive, they got a lot of stuff though. I went to an aquarium there. It was actually pretty sweet. Um,
I don't
you
remember
ever
the
go
last.
to aquarium?
I've been to a couple. I don't remember the last one I was at. You know, speaking of like animal stuff, I want to go. I think Animal Kingdom would be fun to go to. I think they're going to shut that down though, aren't they?
I haven't heard anything about that. But
Okay, well, hopefully not.
honestly, let me see.
Is it just me?
What Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
Dude, last time I went to Animal Kingdom was probably around that time when I was like 10, 11, or 12.
Oh well,
I mean,
that's.
recently the prices of everything over that way are just insane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it looks like so I'm looking here. The Is this a Disney? Am I even looking at the right thing?
It's Disney. It's on Disney property, so it is Disney.
No, this thing that it's read me. So I guess there's the a Dino Land area over there. I guess they're closing
Ye-
that down.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was that then.
Oh, and then yeah, so there's a area in Dino Land just closed permanently on the 1st of this month. And then the remaining bits of Dino Land is going to be closed on February 1st of 2026. So
Dude, why are
very
we
soon
closing
that
Dino Land?
I don't know, that sounds like the coolest attraction there.
Right? I want to go. Well, I can't
Yeah, I
now.
would
It's
like to
closed.
yeah, I would like to take a trip to Disney. A lot of people harp on Disney, but I think it's fun for the most part. It's so expensive. It's hard to have fun as an adult when you're buying everything.
Well, that's the issue, right? It's just how outrageously expensive it is.
Yeah, because as a kid you're going there and your parents might say, "Oh no, you can't get that toy. We can't afford that." But
And then you
at the end
start
of the day,
crying, and then you're like, "Why
well,
can I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it?"
I mean, at the end, you've already had a good day, but now I can't even imagine doing that because now I got to take time off of work. That's eating into how much I'm making, and then it's already costing me a lot to go there. It's hard to take trips as an adult.
Yeah, no, even this trip, which is like, I think at the end of all the expenses, it was probably around like maybe 600-700. That's like flight, ticket, hotel, rent, car rental, all that, which isn't bad because we were thinking that was gonna be like $1,000 like a
Wait,
piece.
was that your side of
But
things, or was that total?
no, that was just like per person.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so like you're paying like 600-700.
Yeah, and
Is
then
paying.
yeah, and then we got four of us, so kind of split everything up four ways. But
I mean, that's
it's still expensive, don't get me wrong, but like we thought it was going to be like 1,000 a piece.
dude. I
But
was expecting more, honestly. I thought you were about to say 6-7 thousand. I was
no,
like,
no,
oh
did
my
you
god.
think I have $6,000 or $7,000 to spend to go to Minnesota for 4 days?
Well, I started thinking that might be why you're broke.
Well, let me tell you, I was broke long before this. It's definitely not the reason. I do have to cut my card spending down though. I'm getting a little out of hand with that.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Oh, this is actually a good segue into you know what really creases my surface? So that was a inside joke before we started doing this. Anyway, I got a card in the mail, and it's a pretty cool card. It's from this year's, which is 2025, Marvel's Chrome. They actually, it could be 2024. It's one of those years. Anyway, they did an insert set called Golden Anniversaries. I think it's 10 or 11 characters, and I want to say it's Gold Wave, and I think they might have a couple more parallels, so like numbered to 50. And there's Gamora one, which I like Gamora's character. I think she's a pretty cool character. Guy up had it listed, I think, at 65. And the Golden Anniversary cards are relatively rare, I would say. And like, there's a couple of characters that aren't like very popular, so their prices are a little bit lower. But I would say like the average cost of those are like between 80 to 100. And this guy had one listed at 65. And I was looking at the design of the card, or just looking at the card in general, and like it looked like it had like scratches and stuff on it. I was like, I reached out to him like, hey, hate to bother you, could you send me a couple like pictures of like the front and the back? Because I explained, like, I was like, it looks like there's scratches on it, but I don't know if that's like the card itself or whatever. So he did. He didn't have a problem with it. And while he was like, while I was waiting for him to respond, I was looking at some other cards of that set, and I noticed like they had the same look to them. So I'm like, okay, it's probably the design of the card. It's whatever. So he sent me pictures, looked fine. I was like, okay, would you do 50? He's like, well, I don't want to be below 60, but I'll do 55. I was like, all right, cool, perfect. So I get the card in today. I'm looking it over. I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. It's, you know, not bad. Like, centering's good. There's like a little like print line in like the top right, but it doesn't really affect like the eye appeal of the card. You can't really notice it unless you hit the right light. So I'm like, all right, they probably won't take PSA, or a grading company probably wouldn't take much off of that. And I flipped it over to the back, and I'm like, okay, I got my little grading tool out, my centering tool. I'm like, all right, the back looks good and all that, and I'm shining it in the light, and I noticed this with another card that I got from the Marvel Chrome this year too. The back just has like these streaks. I'm not really sure what they are. They're not creases, but they're just lines down the back. And I'm looking at them like, that's not probably going to grade well. And then I'm shining the light more and more on the card, and right where it has like, oh, this is a Golden Anniversaries, blah, 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 like description of the card, I noticed a crease in it, like just subtle. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then so I rub my finger on the back to see how, like, if it's just the crease, or if it's actually a crease, or if it's just light. And it definitely is a crease. And I'm just like, I bought the card to grade. Let me, like, I know when you're buying on eBay to grade cards, it's like, it's a coin flip essentially. All you can do is like look at the pictures they send you, and then go based on that. So you're always taking a gamble. But like, the last thing I was expecting is to have a crease, like a couple of scratches or whatever. I could be like, yeah, kind of whatever. But a fucking crease, dude, like, I feel like that should be mentioned somewhere. I don't care if you do like a little read on your description, or the title of your listing or whatever. Just have like a description or something. Like, I don't personally look in descriptions much. I should, after experiencing this. But it's like one of those things, like, I know, especially if you're selling it at that low, when like another version could be like 80 or 100, like, make it known. Like, I know if I have like a card that has like a really ding corner or something, I will like, one, I'll take a picture of it, so that's at least in the pictures, and then in my description I'll put like bad corner, see like pictures for details or something like that. Like, if you have a crease though, like, I feel like even as a seller, you should point that out, unless he honestly didn't see it and he was just like, oh yeah, it's a fucking perfect condition, which I guess could be true, but it's really
Is it
annoying.
possible that he didn't know it was there? Like, is it
That's what
hard
I'm
to see
saying.
it?
It's
It sounds
possible,
like
but
you had to look really hard to see it, but um, yeah, that's crazy on a card that modern too. On modern cards like that, makes you wonder how, like what the seller was doing with the card, if it was their
it,
fault. Because usually you don't see them come like creased like that out of the pack. You know, they might have bad print lines or maybe even miscut off center, but typically I feel like you don't see them creased out of the pack like that.
yeah, and it wasn't like a crease of like the card got like bent. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything like that. It looked like it probably happened either like maybe during printing, like maybe something like got like I don't know, maybe like if they were stamping something, if like maybe something got caught on the bottom, it got stamped or something on it. I don't really know. But yeah, it's you don't really see creases that much. Not like that. Just
Yeah,
it
that's
was really
rough.
weird. But
You said it was like 30 below comps.
um yeah, roughly. I mean, like I'll probably list it at like I don't expect to get money out of it. You know what I mean? Like I'll be honest with the listing and be like, it's part's not really grade worthy, but here you go. I'll probably list it for 60 and see what happens. If I have to
I just
sell it
want to
for less, I'll
get
sell it
your
for less.
get your money back and be done with it.
Yeah, I kind of ironically when we were talking about it earlier, with the whole like listing a auction at full comps, I'm kind of at the point where I'm trying to learn, hey, if I can only get, if I can't get like either a full comp or even my money back, if I have to take a little loss, like it's better to just get off of the card and like invest that money in something else. I don't want to use the word invest. We're not investors here, but I don't want to throw that term around too much because I don't want someone to be like, you're telling me what to do with my money. I don't want
So
I don't want people to be like that.
I guess a point to kind of tie into that too is like I hate when people. Actually, let me start it by I love when people actually say they're like, hey, I'm not really interested in selling this, but like I don't need to move this card. You know, in my experience from asking people if they have any Hank Aaron's, they're like, yeah, you know, I don't really need to sell this card, but if you want to pay this amount, then you can take it. It's yours, and it's usually over comps. I get that.
Right.
I hate when people uh will list things too high and they'll kind of like I see it all the time on whatnot. They get kind of angry. They're like, "Oh no, nobody wants to bid on this. This is a nice card." It's like, dude, you've got it. 50, 60, even $100 over comps. It's like if you don't want to sell it, just say that.
Right.
You know?
Or don't even
That
have
that
it
type of
don't even
stuff
have it
bugs
up.
me.
Like if you don't want to sell it, don't
Yeah.
even have it up.
I mean, I can respect people trying to make some money on it, but there's ways to go about that that
Right.
isn't just overpricing your cards.
I'm kind of surprised, and like my experience with whatnot has been very limited, but I'm surprised that people like do that still on that platform because I feel like they always advertise like, oh, $1 or $2 auctions, like it's always that kind of thing versus, hey, here's 120% of the card, anyone want it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. You know, the dollar auctions are nice because a lot of them, I mean, they're not lying. They will start at $1. It's just they've got 500 people in that stream that are going to bid that card up. Um, you know, not purposely bidding it up, trying to make the seller some money, but there's just a
Right.
lot of people that probably want that card. And when you have a live auction like that, that's got 10 seconds on it, and they, you know, you wave the card right in front of somebody's face who might want it, they're probably going to bid on it. A
Right.
little bit different than eBay. Uh, you know, you go on eBay, it's like, oh, I gotta wait 6 days for this. I'm not even gonna throw a bid on it. At least that's how I feel. I'm more of like a quick, snappy person. You know, if I see the card, it's got 10 seconds left. It's like, oh, I don't want to let it go, and just throw a bid.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I totally get that. I'm the same way. But like what I'll do on eBay is like I have like some saved searches of like either sets that I'm trying to collect or whatever, or just players that I know can like resell or whatever. And like if a new listing gets on that, I'll see what the new listings are. If there's one that's like 99 cents or like a low starting price, I'll watch it and then I won't look at it until like I get a notification like, hey, you got 15 minutes left on this auction. So like at
I
least
mean,
I try to set my watch list to like a bunch and then just
I'm the same way, but what ends up happening with me is by the time that 15 minutes left comes around, the card's already like way more than I would want to spend. Because of course I'm trying to find a good deal. I mean, who isn't?
right.
Um, but I guess sometimes I just add cards that I probably shouldn't even be looking at to my watch list.
Like a
So
Hank Aaron
sometimes I
rookie
do it.
card.
Yeah, right. Like, oh my God, $200 starting bid. I could get that. Oh, 15 minutes left. It's at 5 grand. I'm like,
What a
no,
deal.
I will add cards though sometimes just to watch them, just to see what they do. Um,
Yeah.
because that just kind of learning different markets and stuff. Um,
Dude, how are you learning Pokemon, man?
I have not been
Oh,
paying any attention to Pokemon at all.
oh, that's a
Um,
shame.
there's too much. Dude, there's how many Hank Aaron cards there are to pay to
Oh yeah.
pay
You
attention
know
to.
what? You're right. You're right. My mistake.
I don't have much time for anything else. I did some looking finally. I now remember what Hank Aaron card I have coming. It's a 69 Hank Aaron. Um, and
Nice.
the centering's pretty solid on it actually. Let me go back to it. I want to look at it again here. Um, yeah,
You just
just to
fucking
make sure.
before you go to bed, you just look at it every night.
Yeah, right. Um, but no, I'm pretty excited for it. I really hope it can at least get a 4. Like I said the other day, I really want to make that my baseline for like my Hank Aaron PC, since I guess still new to my Hank Aaron PC. I want 4 to be my baseline because 4 is good enough with the older cards where it has like pretty solid eye appeal, but it's also not absurdly expensive. With vintage cards, they don't start getting insanely expensive until you get to like even a 5 with some of them, but kind of like a 6. Like once you pass that threshold of a 6, that's when
You're
the card is almost looking mint. It's pretty
yeah,
much mint by that point. And eye appeal means everything when it comes to the vintage cards.
that's fair.
Um, yeah, centering on this one's pretty solid front and back. It's the print is a little bit um you probably know what I'm talking about, like lopsided in a way, like very, very slightly. Like it's not perfectly square on the
Okay. So
uh
it's like off like if you're looking at a picture frame, it's kind of like off to the side a little bit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a little lopsided. Not so much on the front, but the back is just ever so slightly. But it honestly, like centering, it looks really good. There's two corners that kind of have a little ding on it, but the surface looks pretty good. There's like no creases. Ironically for this for the little segment we just passed,
Yeah.
but it actually looks pretty good. I'm really hoping it can 4. If it threes, I might still try. I may as well just keep it, I guess, if it threes.
I was
Um,
gonna say,
but
like, even if it doesn't four, like three is
it's
still
just
the
gonna feel like a slap in the face when I want to make my baseline a 4.
well, if you get a 3.5, is that worse
I
or
thought, wait, does PSA do the subgrades every time?
they do? I think so. Don't they do like they don't they go from 9 to 10, and I think they have a half in between each other number.
No, yeah, but I think isn't that like a separate service? Don't you have to pay a separate service to get the subgrades? Because if that's
No,
I mean, I don't feel like I've seen a lot of subgrades
I don't
on
feel like.
PSA. I
Well,
feel like every single card, like, I mean, have you got any subgrades back?
I'm trying to think.
Because I think it's a separate service.
I don't think I've got. I might have had one. Maybe not. But like, even if it is a separate service, it's not like Beckett or whatever where they put the what the issue was, like what the subgrades actually are. You know what I mean? So I don't know why. I don't know why you'd pay extra for that. I feel like you're doing research.
Yeah, it's not really leading me anywhere. I'm mainly looking for my other Hank Aaron card here because I want to
Oh.
look at it.
Hey, look at what
It's so
brings you joy,
sweet.
man.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking at this card, and if this card can 4, I don't want to be that guy now. but there's a possibility the one I got could 5, maybe.
Oh boy.
Dude, if I send you a picture of this, I mean, you'll probably agree with me. It's the surface of this one is really good, but it's got some corner dings and it's way like it's really off centered. Um, but another thing that goes a long way with a lot of vintage cards is the back too. Like you know how vintage cards they have like they almost have artwork on the back.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what you're talking about.
there's like a
Kind
little
of.
animation back there, and the color of that means a lot. But over, like I said, dude, the 69 that I got coming, I mean, it looks really good. So I'm just really hoping that it makes it here safely because the shipping cost was awfully cheap, which tells me it's going into an envelope.
How wait, how much did you pay for, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for it?
Uh, the card or the shipping?
The card.
Oh, the card was like 20, $26, I think.
Don't they have to send don't they have to send a ground? Or not ground, but USPS ground advantage? I don't think you can
Why would?
well, I don't think you can do unless is this off eBay or whatnot?
Well, hold on, I'm trying to think now because no, it's on Whatnot. The
Oh.
way that Whatnot works strictly through weight. So
Oh, okay.
when you're creating your listings for like single streams, you can do you can make a setting to where you have like an unlimited amount of them. So when you start it, it just keeps like recycling them, and you can make the settings for those like, oh, the weight of each one of these sales is going to be between this amount, and it calculates the shipping there.
Oh.
So if you're just running singles, they're all going to weigh pretty much the same.
So
But
it's
what's
not like so the whatnot seller gets to choose how they send it, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah, because I mean,
Okay.
they can also choose to make it free shipping. Like that's the thing too. Some sellers do that, not a lot for obvious reasons, but
Right.
some sellers do make it to where the shipping is free, but they're probably just going to send it PWE anyways.
Right.
But I mean, it is what it is. It's there's an incentive, I guess, to free shipping. Because some of those sellers too, I mean, though you'll be on a single stream and they will make their shipping $4, and that's kind of annoying. Now, maybe they do use the USPS ground advantage and they package your card securely and it's nice, but it's like at the end of the day, dude, I'm buying a $2 single. I honestly could care less if this comes damaged or not. I just don't want to pay $4 shipping for a $2 card.
Right. That's fair.
It Yeah, it's just kind of a slap in the face at that point. So I almost want to say I prefer PWE. Um Depending on what the card is. Like if they're selling slabs, a lot of experienced sellers on there, they'll create different um, categories for their singles. So regular singles, they'll probably just do like I think it's like $1.68 or something. Um, and then they'll have like another listing that they'll run whenever they run like a slab or a mag or something,
Yeah.
and that one will jump up to like the $4 shipping. And then this one guy I was watching, he was occasionally doing like bulk stuff, just like random assorted collections of just 70s base cards, all that good stuff. He did make it known he has pulled out all of like the top people out of it. Like if he's selling a bunch of like 70s, like early 70s bulk, he's already pulled out like the Hank Aaron's and stuff. It's just his way of moving them,
Yeah,
but he makes
fair.
it known, so he's not scummy about it. And when he changes it to that, the shipping jumps up to like $9. So yeah,
That's
it's a little over the
makes
top.
sense.
I
Makes
don't
sense
know, dude.
though.
It makes sense. I mean, at least he's making sure it's not coming out of his pocket. That's good on him as a seller to make sure he's not losing money. But I don't know. It's a little overkill.
Yeah, well, yeah. Have that once in a
On
while.
top of, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Whatnot's already going to take a little bit.
Right. And I
Selling
think
cards is always best in person.
yeah, I think that's the reason. I mean, even with me, like I've started trying to do like free shipping on all my listings I put up, and like I just try to incorporate what the shipping costs I want to use is, then this incorporate it into the price.
I guess it depends on what card you're selling too, because I mean, it doesn't really make sense to sell a $4 card and then turn around and pay $3.50 for shipping.
Well, see, so with those, I've been doing like standard envelope, and like if you adjust the ounce or the weight to like 1 ounce, because a single card plus a couple of base cards, which I throw in there, doesn't weigh that much. It weighs like 1, maybe 2 ounces. I just always put at 1 ounce. It's only like 74 cents to ship. So to factor in like an extra dollar, if like I got a $2 card, I'll throw another dollar on that, make it $3 with free shipping. It doesn't really do much, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Do you have a thermal printer?
I do. Got mine at Walmart, and it's actually pretty solid. I thought it was gonna be a piece of shit, but it's working good for me.
I got mine from some company I can't even pronounce off of Amazon, and it works beautifully. I feel like I took a huge gamble on it, but it works great. It was kind of a pain to set up, like in my settings on my computer, but once I got through that part, it was I mean it works smooth. The only downside is it's one of those ones it doesn't have like the ones at work, it doesn't have like the roll inside of it. You have to get the labels that
Yeah,
are like in a stack.
mine's the same way.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's just a little inconvenient, I suppose, when you have a I don't keep my printer like connected all the time, so if I ever need to use it, I have to move a bunch of shit around because I've got
Well,
a really cramped space up here.
with mine's not hooked up. I print directly off my phone because it's a Bluetooth. So mine's not actually hooked up to my computer. It's actually on the other side of
So
my desk.
mine is also Bluetooth, but I don't like Bluetooth, and I like using my computer when it comes to doing things like that. Like when I was doing whatnot for a while, to me it just felt easier to do everything on my computer and have everything pulled up right in front of me. And my computer does not have a little Bluetooth card in it, so I have to connect it with a
Right.
wire. But it does have Bluetooth capability, so I can do it from my phone if I desire.
Yeah, I don't know how it is for Whatnot, but for eBay it's pretty freaking easy because it's I think I use the Instaprint app, um, which is where I import all my labels, and like literally like I'll create a shipping label, just save the document, just import it, and then I just print it. Like it's pretty easy. But yeah, I would imagine having it hooked up to the computer is way easier. It's just more convenient.
If it's anything like is eBay similar? I haven't sold a card on eBay in forever. Is it similar to how it was like, I don't know, like 4 years ago?
I wasn't selling 4 years ago, so I don't know.
Well, shit. Um,
I would say yes.
so like the way that I did it before, I did it a little bit differently because I wasn't selling cards left and right. So, what I would do, there was a thing where you could do it and it brings up a QR code, and I would take my packages to the post office and I would show them the QR code, and they would scan it and print out the label for me.
Well,
Um, I mean, it was nice because there was one time though I did have like quite a few packages, and the lady looked pissed off.
yeah, I'd probably be pretty pissed too if I'd seen this kid
You
coming
work at
in like I
you
need some
work at a
eBay
post
labels.
office though. I mean, that's your job. You work at a post office. I mean, not really. I guess you're not, but it's
I,
to do with post office stuff.
you work for the government, so you just automatically have to be grumpy though. That's the thing. You're just a
That
grump.
is true. That is true.
That's probably part of their application. Is like, are you grumpy? And if you're like, yep, you're hired.
Also a
Welcome to the
part of
post
their
office.
retirement agreement too. They have to be an ass when they retire.
I will say my uncle worked for the post office. He wasn't a grump, but he had his moments.
All of the delivery people we deal with, they all seem to be pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily working for the government, but it's in the same field of work, and they all seem pretty cool, right?
Well, I'm assuming they work directly for the post office, so it's just like they're government employees if that's the case.
Well, not FedEx, right?
Oh no, I'm talking about USPS.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
strictly talking about the United States
No,
Postal
I just
Service.
I branched it off into just like delivery people in general, like people that work with like delivering packages. Um, but I will say though, it does seem like the USPS people are typically a little bit more like monotone and grumpier than. Not saying that they are grumpy, but grumpier than like the FedEx people and the UPS people.
Uh,
I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm
I
saying
wouldn't
though?
really say that though, because like we only. I'm trying to think because we've had a couple of people in the past that used to deliver or pick up our stuff that were kind of like, man, he just never has a good day. And then like the ones we have now, they're fucking chill. The FedEx guys, there's only one guy that comes to my mind that's
Yeah.
really grumpy. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And then we had a
I haven't
couple
seen
other.
him in a while. I feel like I haven't seen him in a while.
I hate that. Man, we're probably pretty. We're like probably like close to an hour deep in this first episode. I didn't think we'd get this far. So we should probably wrap this one up and continue in number 2. But really quick, I will say, like I hate how FedEx goes through like different drivers like for different areas. Like if you get a guy on a route and he becomes familiar with that route and he's on a business route and the business becomes familiar with that one guy, just keep him on that route. Like he already knows what to do. He already knows like what door to pick up the deliveries and shit. Just why do they have to switch drivers every like 3 months or whatever it is? Just stick to 1 or 3 guys or whatever it is. Just I hate that shit.
To add on to that, I had this one guy who, when I handed him all of the packages, all of the FedEx stuff, he was pissed. He made it known he was pissed. It was his first time, dude. He was like, "They didn't tell me it was gonna be this many."
Well, we never know. Like it could one day we could have like a full like bin and a half of orders, or we can have like half of a bin. Like we never know until it was probably on a Monday though.
Average,
It was probably on a Monday, almost guaranteed.
It's like usually at least 70% full.
Dude, holidays when we get a 3-day weekend, that's when it's bad. Like when I'm pretty sure at this point the FedEx drivers know like on Tuesday after like a Saturday, Sunday, Monday weekend, they're probably like, oh man, we're gonna have a bunch of this place today.
That's when they should send the new guy out.
Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, don't be surprised. All right, well, we'll wrap this up and then we're gonna record another one after this. So thank you guys for listening. I'm not good at intros and outros. Let me just make that clear. I volunteered to do it though. If you like this, I don't know what platform this is gonna be on. Definitely YouTube. So maybe Spotify. I don't know.
Spotify in the future.
Yeah, well, we're experimenting. So we'll
it's
be on
it's
YouTube.
a work in progress.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely be on YouTube. So give it a like if you enjoyed what we talked about, and sub to the channel if you want to hear more. And is that it? Do I need to cover anything else? This is practice for the next episodes.
I mean that sounds fine to me.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll talk to you on episode number 2. Bye.